many of you ever been to a park concert before? Okay, I haven't, so I don't know how I'm supposed to behave here. So we have we're going to be an interesting backdrop to the volleyball tournament, and it'll be an interesting backdrop to us. But we're just here to have fun, and we got some beautiful weather, and there's a lot worse things we could be doing on a Sunday evening than hanging out in Iowa at a beautiful park in great weather, and hopefully I'll try not to ruin that experience for you with my music and everything. My name is Daniel Sanford. I hail out of Cedar Rapids, New City Church, and I've been friends with Pastor Melody, who's with Anamosa United Methodist. We've been friends for over 20 years, and I thought I was the preacher this Sunday morning, and I come to find out that no, I am not preaching Sunday morning. I am playing music on Sunday night, and so I'm scrambling the past 2 weeks just to put together what you see here and prepare the tracks you'll hear and everything. And so basically I've been a worship musician for about 20 years, and for the past year I've just kind of hidden in my basement and recorded studio music. So tonight you're going to hear about 80% original music and about 20% cover music, and a few surprises and quizzes along the way. So I hope that you're encouraged by what you hear tonight. So I wanted to start with something, because I know we have everyone from Methodists to Catholics to evangelicals to Pentecostals to charismatics here, and I figured what was one song we would all know, and that's a challenge. So I had to reach back probably a few hundred years, and I think we probably all grew up with this one. Praise God from whom my blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly host. Praise Father, Son, and Holy. Father, we thank you for this beautiful night you've given us. Lord, bless the hearing of our ears as you speak to us tonight. In Jesus' name, amen. So we're going to throw a bunch of different genres at you. So if you hate one, please stay here, because the next one you might just like, and you never know. I got everything in this list except for polka. So next year when I come, we'll throw some polka in there just to make everyone happy and have a good time. So. Yesterday, so insane, day breaks on to newborn day. Mercy's new, hot sprung blue, barefoot in the morning dew. Say a prayer, bedhead hair, the past is past, the future's here. You have blown it, don't be moaning, present is a present, own it. Admit it, quit it, forget it. Churn and learn and burn the candle, got one slit. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. You may not want to, not always fun to, but it's the real flu. Keep showing up in your praying room, in His word eye view, in your Sunday pew. Keep showing you're growing, keep showing up. Punch the clock, tick tick tock, when will this day and hate your job? Boring worse, boss a jerk, live for the weekend you deserve. Thankful heart does its part to shame the name you're representing. Lose that dude, that funky move, embrace the race that you are given. Admit it, quit it, forget it. Churn and learn and burn the candle, got one slit. Keep showing up, you may not want to, not always fun to, but it's the real clue. Keep showing up in your praying room, in His word's eye view, in your Sunday pew. Keep showing you're growing, keep showing up. No way I was going to try this live. Or this. Made it, quit it, forget it. Turn and learn and burn the candle, got one slit. Keep showing up, you may not want to, not always fun to, but it's the real glue. Keep showing up in your praying room, in whose words I view, in your Sunday pew. Keep showing you're growing, keep showing up. I can't rap either, so I'm not doing this live.
I am this lecturer that burns up the sudden sun. It almost is silly to learn. Plus the race, sit to run. Attitude around you, give the time, give it here. My life is about Adam's quest, something alone of those to you.
Admit it, quit it, forget it. Turn and learn and burn the candle, got one slit. Keep showing up, you may not want to, not always fun to, but it's the real clue. Keep showing up in your praying room, in his words I view, in your Sunday pew. Keep showing you're growing, keep showing up. Thank you. I played that song for my son when I first wrote it, probably in April. This is one of the early, I kind of had a writing binge. I wrote an album about 20 years ago, and so that ages me a little bit, maybe 30 years ago. We'll say 25, we'll split the difference. And so I haven't written a whole lot, and then this April I had some time, free time. I was what they call between careers. That's just a fancy way of saying unemployed. And so I had some free time on my hands. And so I wrote pretty much everything you're going to hear, plus a few more that I'll share with you. We're going to find those for free on the interwebs and everything. And this is one of the first one. And my son is an incredible musician, an incredible guitarist, much better than I am. And so I sent it to him. He listens to it. He says, "Oh, that beach guitar part you did, where you slide down and everything. That was like the only part of the song I took from YouTube, and it wasn't me playing it." And so his favorite part of the song was not me. It was the loop that I threw in there. So. I'm going to share a song, it's called Micah's Song, and this was actually written, I want to say 15 years ago, in a very different style. And I used to play in a Christian rock band called No Ordinary Sunday. And this was one of our lists, and I turned it from a rock song into an R&B song, just because I thought it would sound better that way. But it's taken out of two scriptures, and Micah 6:8, and you guys have all familiar with these. "He has shown you, O man, what is good. What does the Lord require of you? But to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." And then I was thinking when I wrote this of another verse, millennia later, out of the book of James in the New Testament, James 1:27, "Pure and undefiled religion before God and the Father is this, to visit orphans and widows in their trouble, and to keep oneself unspotted from the world." And so God's word is incredibly consistent from Old to New Testament, that we're to be about his business. We're to love him, we're to love our neighbor, and we're to do good whenever it's in our power to do so. And so the song, woo! I keep seeing the shadow, and I keep thinking it's going to bounce right off my head eventually, so. No, you're cool. So this is called Micah's Song. With what shall I come before the Lord and bow down before the exalted God? Shall I come to him with spotless rams and oil, with the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul. He has shown you what he requires of you: to do justly, to love mercy, to walk humbly with your God. To do justly, to love mercy, to walk humbly with your God. Yes, he has shown you what he requires of you. Yeah, yeah. In a soundbite world filled with talking heads, true religion fails, replaced by promises. Instead of all that's faith is caring for the poor, and to keep oneself unspotted by the world. He has shown you what he requires of you: to do justly, to love mercy, to walk humbly with your God. To do justly, to love mercy, to walk humbly with your God. Yes, he has shown you what he requires of you. Yeah, yeah. He has shown you he requires of you: to do justly, to love mercy, to walk humbly with your God. To do justly, to love mercy, to walk humbly with your God. Yes, he has shown you. He's shown you what he requires. Yes, he has shown you what he requires of you. Amen. All right, I'm gonna try to switch instruments here. And so the soundboard is probably from 1982, and that was given to me by a church, and so it was free, so I use it. The microphone is probably from 1992, and there we go. Was acquired at a pawn shop, and I had planned to use my Mac microphone, but too much feedback. And I'm from 1969, and so I'm older than all this stuff, and so that kind of ages me. But people ask me what instrument is my primary instrument. Actually, none of the things you see up here is my primary instrument. My primary instrument is drums, and that's what I studied most. And I went to college. And I'm a percussion major dropout, and I ended up finishing college at Bible college and being a minister for 20 years. But probably more than anything, I play the bass today for church, and I do everything you see here into the computer. And the music you're hearing on those tracks is either me or a loop that I put in, like a drum loop or a special effect or something like that. And the reason I don't play the guitar solos live is because that's me playing one measure at a time 15 times in a row until I get it right, and then putting it in the right place and moving on to the next part. And so for me to play one of these solos entirely, is it me playing it? Yes, but it's me edited. And this is me unedited, so I take the chicken way and just go through the computer and stuff. And so I am not a one-man band tonight. I do have two band members with me, and we'll call them Mac and Google. And so between Mac and Google, they're taking some of the solo and rap pieces today. But this one's just me. And this is actually a cover song that I really heard. It's been out for a while. Matt Redman, who's written many songs that you're familiar with. But I'd never heard this one, and it's actually a remake of a hymn that you'll recognize here in a moment. And I just fell in love with it. This first, when I first heard it, introduced it to my church, and going to play it again today. So this may be your first time hearing it, or the 1000th time. And once I get done positioning this mic to where it doesn't fall on me, we'll be ready to go. So. One day you'll make everything new, Jesus. One day you will bind every wound. The former things shall all pass away, and no more tears. One day you'll make sense of it all, Jesus. One day every question resolved, and every anxious thought left behind, and no more fear. And when we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be, when we all see Jesus. We'll sing and shout the victory. One day we will see face to face Jesus. Is there a greater vision of grace? In a moment we shall be changed on that day, when we all get to heaven. What a day of rejoicing that will be, when we all see Jesus. We'll sing and shout the victory. And one day we'll be free indeed, Jesus. One day all the struggle will cease, and we will see your glory revealed on that day, when we all get to heaven. What a day of rejoicing that will be, when we all see Jesus. We'll sing and shout the victory. Forward to seeing Jesus. How many are looking forward to 2021, actually? And so, the best meme I've seen online so far about 2020 this year was probably a couple months ago, and said, congratulations to the astronauts who are leaving Earth this week. Really, really good choice. So, yeah. Wish I could have went with them, but it's been a great year. It's been a challenging year for all of us. It's been a strange year. I've never seen anything like it before, but God's been faithful through it. So, speaking of faithfulness, while I'm sitting here at the piano, I'm going to talk about and talk to the most faithful person other than God that I've met in my life, and that's my wife, Amy. This year, we just celebrated on the 26th our 28th wedding anniversary. Hallelujah. Yes. Yeah, yes.
You said it's on the 5th. No, it's
25th? I said 28th.
No,
Yeah, so-
I know, but you said on the 25th. He said 28th.
I said 26. Okay, I was completely correct. Okay,
No,
unless we'll watch the video later and get the slow-mo replay of whether I actually got my anniversary right together. On the 5th. Oh, I said 26. That's your birthday.
right.
Okay, my bad. I had a special day, right? Anyway, I wrote, about 2 months ago, I wrote a song, and I called it 28. And it was to celebrate our 28th wedding anniversary. And just to give you a quick backstory, we got married, I think my wife was 20, almost 21, I was 24. Been married 28 years. We have 2 kids. My daughter Alyssa, who is with us, and her husband Jacob. They just got married in May of this year. They are a COVID couple because they had planned to get married in July and things got moved because of all the scheduling and stuff. And then I have a younger son who's 2 years younger, about a year and a half younger, he would want me to say, and is 24. And Jesse, he lives in Boone. He is engaged to be married in October. And so I got 2 kids. They're both getting married in 2020. Both weddings affected by COVID-19. And so of all people who want to see C-19 behind us and to see 2020 behind us, that's me. It's been a really, really interesting year. But hey, I also get 2 new kids this year. And so still thrilled to have number 1 and number 2, Leah is following. But anyway, back to my wife. I wrote this to her. We've already had our special Google. I would come up here and sing it on my knee, but I gotta play piano, so. But this is originally titled 28, because 28 years, and I couldn't think of a different title for this. It's 28 years, seems like one hectic week has passed. We were so in love, yet so naive. Our children now have grown, a cliche time moves fast. They took the best from you and me. 28 years you've grown in beauty, hand in hand you've walked beside me. Better was our normal, worse or less. What else could our future hold for us, still one, yet growing older? 28 years holds great, but not our best. 28 years you've been my best friend and my heart. The secrets of the night we silent hold. Our battle scars come not from words both cold and harsh. They are memorials as back to back we toiled. Beside me, better was our normal, worse or less. What else could our future hold for us, still one, yet growing older? 28 years holds great, and not our best. For charm is deceptive, and beauty is beside me. Better was our normal, worse than this. What else could our future hold for? I still want it growing older. 28 years old's great, but not our best. Amen. Love you, hon. People have asked me in the past, do you get nervous when you stand in front of people and sing or preach or things like that? Yes, I do, just like everyone else does, but not really. Like I used to maybe when I first started doing this. What makes me totally nervous is when I have to read music. And I know how to read, not as well as my wife does. I could sit down and play a classical piano piece if I practiced it, but I would be totally freaked out in front of you. But if I get in front of you and play something from a chord chart or play something that I wrote, no big deal. But one of the most terrible, scariest things for me growing up was piano recitals. Did you ever? How many took piano lessons when you were good? How many of your parents made you take piano lessons as a kid? I had to practice every day for a half hour, and of course, as soon as I got of age, I ran away to other things. But yeah, I gravitated to church music and playing more by ear, and then. But yeah, today, if I had to sit down and play Bach or play Beethoven, you would see me weeping right here before you because that still scares me to death. Well, that was a serious part of the show. Let's have a little bit of fun, and this is gonna be a quiz. And to those in my family here, thanks family for showing up. I got some from Marion, got family from Dubuque here, from Cedar Rapids, and it's great to have you here, as well as those of you from I think the farthest one. I mean, this is my best groupie. It's my only groupie, but it's my best groupie that came all the way from Virginia to see this concert here today. So awesome, man. Yeah, make sure you get the t-shirt on the way out, okay? Yeah, definitely. I think she's visiting family in Anamosa, but I just happened to be here today. So, I'll give you a little heads up because this is a competition. I'm going to test your musical knowledge. The artist who sang this song, and you can't look on Google or YouTube or anything, was an iconic early rock star, we're going to say in the 60s era. And this is after his heyday. And the guitarist for this song, originally, the track you're going to hear is me, not them. Because I don't want to be arrested by the copyright police, is another iconic rock star who had a band named after him in the 70s and 80s. And so, unfortunately, I'm going to sing it instead of him, and so it's going to be hard to recognize. But if anyone who recognizes the song, you get and the song was written in the early 90s, you get the 1990s Music Trivia Knowledge Award for the night. And if you're related to me and you know the answer, you can't tell me what is it. Well, I used to be bad, but I don't have to be bad no more. Yes, I used to be bad, but I don't have to be bad no more. You know I learned my lesson a long, long time ago. Yes, I used to be bad, but I don't have to lesson a long, long time ago. Well, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you got one life to live, it all will come back home to you. Yes, I used to be bad, but I don't have to be bad no more. You know I learned my lesson a long, long time ago. Well, used to be bad, but I don't have to be bad no more. Yes, I used to be bad, but I don't have to be bad no more. You know I learned my lesson a long, long time ago. Well, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you got one life to live, it all will come back home to you. Yes, I used to be bad, but I don't have to be bad no more. You know I learned my lesson a long, long time ago. You know I learned my lesson a long, long time ago. You know I learned my lesson a long, long time ago. Okay, any guesses? Anyone have any clue who sang that song? I would not have had another worship leader do it at a youth conference years and years ago. That was written in 1992 by Paul McCartney with a special guest guitarist Steve Miller of the Steve Miller Band. And so if you look up I Used to Be Bad on YouTube, Google, something like that, you'll hear the real way that's supposed to be played. And so this is post-Beatles Paul McCartney. And I plagiarized tonight from him. So thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. I built a guitar stand for this concert. There's only one problem with my guitar stand. Does anyone have noticed? It doesn't stand. Yeah. So technically it's a guitar fall, a guitar rocker, a guitar, something like that. But got to do something to make that stand. So how are we doing here? All right. I'm gonna do I wrote this song, oh man, it's probably been 20 years ago, and kind of forgot about it. I stuffed it away somewhere in a folder that got buried, and I was having lunch with a friend of mine. I attend New City Church in Cedar Rapids. My daughter is the next gen pastor there, and one of the staff members there, and so she's in charge of everyone from birth to brat. Right, yeah, 12th grade. Did I say that out loud? I don't know. We can edit that out. That's the nice thing, not live streaming. So, but the neat thing about New City Church, and hopefully your churches have this component as well, it was the formation of two different churches just 2 years ago that merged together. On the west side of Cedar Rapids, we had, Cedar Rapids Family Church, and we were mostly white. You know, I'm mostly, my last name is Sanford, which makes you think I have some color in my background, but I don't. I'm mostly German because my mother's name was Frederick, and I'm third generation over the boat, German mostly. Oak Hill Jackson Church was primarily African American over on the southeast side of town with Pastor Rod Dooley. And Pastor Rod and Pastor Daniel over on the west side had fellowship, so we had such a heart together that they decided, you know, we're both healthy churches, but we have the same vision. Let's just merge our churches together, and let's be a witness to Cedar Rapids. And this was right in the middle of course, I guess at any point in the past 3 years, you can say right in the middle of racial tensions in our nation, but this is right in the middle of the current racial tensions in our nation 3 years ago, and we've been a healthy church ever since. We've been a unified church ever since. We have every style of music you can imagine. I always loved black gospel music, but I've learned to love it more as I have to play it now as a musician and sing it and kind of learn the artist. I kind of grew up in a certain genre of church music, and that's broadening. And so I took this song I wrote 30 years ago and I made a gospel song out of it. Now the only problem is I'm not a gospel singer, but that's okay. I'm not a blues singer or a rock singer or any of the singers I've tried the genres to do. I'm just a dude, okay? That likes to make music. So this song is actually based off of Pilgrim's Progress, the book, second most read book in history. Bible, number 1, John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress, number 2. And if you've never read that, it's definitely worth your read. And so I put my version of Pilgrim's Progress to a gospel tune, and we'll try to get that started for you in a second. Okay, this phone is supposed to be smart. Oh Lord, it hasn't been easy, this old road traveling on, but they tell me it leads to a city where I'll find peace and rest in your home. Oh, it seems such a long time coming, with the road up ahead steeper still. But I've learned one thing: you are faithful, and your promise to me will fulfill. Over mountains high, you will lead me. Through each valley low, you will shine on my path. Across rivers wide, your hand will guide until this journey's end. Over waters deep, you will bring me. Through the fires and floods, you will shield and provide. Through the darkest night, I will trust in your light to shine on this pilgrim's way. Oh Lord, you've seen all my failures, all the times filled with doubt and with shame. And I know more than most I'm not worthy to mention or bear your sweet name. Then I heard through your word of the healing that you purchased for me on that hill. And though the doubts and the fears still assail me, I know your promise to me will fulfill. And over mountains high, you will lead me. Through each valley low, across rivers wide. Your hand will guide until this journey's end. Over waters deep, you will bring me. Through the fires and floods, you will shield and provide. Through the darkest night, I will trust in your light to shine on this pilgrim's way. Over mountains high, you will lead me. Through each valley low, you will shine on my path. Across rivers wide, your hand will guide until this journey's end. Over waters deep, you will bring me. Through the fires and floods, you will shield and provide. Through the darkest night, I will trust in your light to shine on this pilgrim's way. To shine on this pilgrim's way. To shine on this pilgrim's way. Thank you guys. Okay, I've been far too serious. I have to do one funny, weird one. Okay, and my wife is like rolling her eyes right now. But that's true. Sometimes when you fancy yourself a songwriter, you just write a song because it's the first thing that comes to your head. You don't necessarily have a scripture to back it up. You don't necessarily have a moral to the story. You just are writing and it sounds good to you, and so you write it just for the fun of writing it. And as you can tell, I love blues. I know how to play in about 3 chords on the guitar, but blues is 3 chords basically, and so you can play in any key in the key of blues, and that's what I'm going to do here. And so I wrote a song called Bob's Blues. Now I got to set this up just real quick. The song is not about me. I was unemployed when I wrote this song, and it's only the kind of song that would come to someone's brain when you're unemployed. But the song is actually about a guy named Bob, and he is unemployed because he chooses to, and he's found a really, really good woman who takes care of him, and basically he lives supported by her. And after I wrote this song, I was thinking about, is there a moral to the story? And I said, well, I think there is. Have you ever met, and it could work either way, a good woman or a good man, and time after time and time again, either through marriage or partnership or whatever, they just end up with the wrong person. And maybe you're their counselor, and you're saying, well, maybe next time you should look for this, this, and this. Well, this is written from the perspective of the wrong person, and it's supposed to be satire, and it's supposed to be satirical. I sent it to my parents. They were not happy with me after I wrote this song, but it's supposed to be humorous and funny, but it's also supposed to give a lesson that there are a lot of Bobs out there, and there are a lot of women that live with Bobs out there, and it's time for Bob to grow up. It's time for Bob to stop taking advantage of a situation. It's time for Bob to get a job, and it's time for Bob to contribute. So, for better or worse, this is Bob's Blues. Hopefully for better. But if I had my glasses on this mic one more time, I'm going to throw them into the sand over there. I'm going to see what it happens. My name is Bob. I because I'm lazy. I sleep in late, am uningrate. I mooch off my baby. Don't need no pity, walk around my city. What a great country. My name is Bob, dressed like a slob, smell kinda funky. But it's my choice, have charming voice, she gives me money. I get my fix from the Netflix, no work will suit me. Is Bob, my back is strong, my brain is wily. I know the drill, to dodge a bill, jail is not likely. Got a good woman, who brings home my bacon, my life is okay. My lady's fine, she foots my dime. My lady's forthright, I'm playing Fortnite. My lady's hearty, I drink and party. My lady's quandary, unfloor my laundry. My name is Bob, I have no job because I'm lazy. I sleep in late, am uningrate. Mooch off my baby. Don't need no pity, walk around my city. What a great country. Don't need no pity, walk around my city. What a great country. Don't need no pity, walk around my city. What a great country. Okay, Bob, grow up. Okay, did you notice this? When I sing a blues song, I talk like this. I have no idea why I talk like this when I sing blues, because I don't talk like this normally. Well, normally my voice is like this. Okay, that was Google's fault, not mine whatsoever. And so I don't know what it is. Whenever I sing blues, I just have to talk like this. I don't know why. It sounds like I'm a chain smoker. I'm not a chain smoker at all. But it just seems like the right vibe to get into when we're singing blues. So I better do something serious because my wife was looking at me like, you should do something serious right now. In case you haven't noticed, I'm a little attention deficit disorder, and I tend to think too many thoughts at one time and ramble on. The only good thing I can say is you're listening to a concert and not me preaching. You can imagine how many rabbit trails I take each sermon. Okay, we're going to try to do this smoothly. It's fairly smooth. You say, Dan, you wrote these songs. Don't you have them memorized? No. I'm 51. You know, the memory is starting to slide right about now. And actually, I wrote most of these songs on my cell phone, probably late at night, and I recorded them immediately. And so most of my memorization of the actual lyrics I wrote have been in preparation for this concert. And so much more comfortable in my basement in front of a microphone than live. But thanks for being my guinea pigs tonight. So this song, it's probably the last song I wrote before this concert. And it was about my daughter and my new son-in-law, and about being a parent of a kid that is recently married. Have you seen the movie Father of the Bride? we love those movies. That's just kind of one of those iconic. Father of the Bride 1 and 2. I think Father of the Bride 1 was mandatory watching for Jacob before he was allowed even to consider being engaged to Alyssa. And you know, I watched that way before my kids were of marrying age. And then just watched it recently while Alyssa and Jacob were engaged. And now I have my son, my youngest son, and my soon-to-be daughter-in-law, Leah, getting married. And if you have kids that are grown and have gotten married, I can't speak for moms, I can only speak for dads. It's just really, really cool, but really, really weird at the same time. I mean, you prayed for this guy all of your life, literally, and the song will say that. Since my daughter was born, the day she was born, I was praying, God, prepare, you know, a godly man for her to marry. And all the time growing up, you know, you're trying to, in the words of George Banks from Father of the Bride, you know, you're afraid of her dating the wrong guy when she's a teenager, and then she becomes an adult, and you're afraid of her dating the right guy, because then all of a sudden, you know where they're going. But thankfully, they ended up in Marion, only 20 minutes away, and we were blessed by that. But actually, I'm going to use a track on this one. So I'll sit here. So this was written to Alyssa and Jacob, and it's called Princess Missus, and it was meant to elicit many tears in me. And if you have kids that are in the same season or have gone through the same season, I'm sure it'll touch your heart. To this day, I can feel the sensation of you sleeping in my arms. The first moment that you looked at me with brown eyes newly opened, I was a prince enthralled by your charms. And I can still hear your cry of need, your giggle sweet, feel your hand upon my face. A few decades cannot erase these impressions seared upon my heart from those days. My princess, now his missus. Oh, my joy has not been halved, it's been made whole. My earliest prayer while you lay in Mama's room was for the man God had prepared for you. To this day, I can feel the thrill of you driving the first time next to me. You were speeding, by the way. Your first dance, high school grad, and then you're waving goodbye at the airport, pursuing your dreams. A paladin appeared on the horizon and won my darling's hand. Past the right of my oversight to me, to this strong, worthy champion. My princess, now his missus. Oh, my joy has not been halved, it's been made whole. Maria's prayer while you lay in Mama's womb was for the man God was preparing for you. Now this day before me stands a woman of beauty and grace who will understand the irrational love that a parent feels, wants to hold on tight to her, but knows he can't. Now his missus, ever my princess, this tender love for you will never die. As we dance the dance of life together, you are his, yet also mine. Princess, now his business. Oh, my joy has not been half, it's been made whole. As we dance the dance of life, you are his, yet mine. Hey, Jacob, all those nice things I say about you, don't let it go to your head, okay? You know, I love you, but I was being metaphorical. No, I'm just kidding. I couldn't have asked for a better husband for my daughter. So I am thrilled. I'm equally thrilled to marry off number 2 this same year. Then I'm done, right? It's just all easy after that, right? Please give me hope. You never got to worry about your kids after they get married, do you? Oh, give me some hope first. Oh, how we doing here? I'm going to give you one more, and then we'll let you go home today. I wrote this. I've been a Christian since I was 9 years old, and I wish I could say I was the model stereotype of what a Christian man should look like. I wish I could say I got my teenage years right and never failed or sinned. I wish I could say I lived my college years. You know, you hear some people's testimonies, and it's like, I mean, it seems like your biggest sin was like eating one too many cookies at a party one day, you know, and where, you know, it seems like I have a brother that's a pastor, and he's in the ministry, and he's far from perfect, and you'd be the first to admit so, but he's like the one who seems to do things the right, normal way. And somehow I inherited the hippie gene in our family, and I tend to be the one who walks more on the wild side of things, and that makes me a little more maybe adventurous to live with, but a little more frustrating to live with as well. And so I wrote this song really in a time of frustration. It was kind of me. I'm not one to go on Facebook or on social media and just blurt out my emotions. I think too much of that happens probably too often. But I will write a song, and I'll put a song out there, and people don't know when I'm talking about, they don't know what I'm talking about. They really don't even know who I'm talking about. But I'm probably talking about me, and I'm probably talking about the season when I wrote this song. And it's about even when we are not as faithful to God as we should be, that He's still faithful to us. And in those times when we're frustrated, we're mad, we're hurting, we're lonely, He's not watching us from a distance. With all apologies to Bette Midler, I disagree with that song. He is Emmanuel, God with us. And so I'm going to close out today with another ballad. This is called When It Hurts. hurts when I stumble. It hurts when I'm humble. It hurts when I struggle and miss the mark. It hurts when I'm lonely. It hurts when I'm angry. It hurts when my hurting hurts a loved one's heart. But when I hurt and feel alone, my Father smiles down from his throne. He understands me more than I know me. In his love and discipline, I receive a pardon, not a sentence. When I hurt most, his heart's most for me. It hurts when I'm selfish. It hurts when I wreck me. It hurts when I turn into one I don't know. It hurts when I check out. It hurts when I feel doubt. It hurts when I realize my hurt was just a parody to show. But when I hurt and feel alone, my Father smiles down from his throne. He understands me more than I know me. In his loving discipline, I receive a pardon, not a sentence. When I hurt most, his heart's most for me. Jesus was hurt, so I won't hurt. Jesus felt shame, so I won't be afraid. All my hurt absorbed in his hesed love. Jesus was hurt, so I won't hurt. Jesus was shamed, I won't be afraid. All my hurt absorbed in his hesed love. When I'm hurt, feel alone, my Father smiles down from his throne. He understands me more than I know me. And in his loving discipline, I receive a pardon, not a sentence. When I hurt most, his heart's most for me. Amen. He's faithful. Hey, if you want to hear, thank you so much. I was going to hand out, these cool swag cards to say, hey, if you want to follow my music, go to this site and this site. But I found an easier way. If you go to either Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, any of those things, and just type in Daniel Sanford, you'll see my ugly face up there. That's my page. You can go there and you can listen to anything for free. If you'd like to actually buy any of these, I think they're going on Bandcamp for $1 per song. You can get everything I've written, what you've heard tonight, and even more, I think, for $8. That's on Bandcamp. Just search for, all one word, just search for Daniel Sanford. And I thought you all were brilliant enough not to need a card to figure out that if you type in my name on any of these things, I'll probably show up. And just look for a guy with a longer beard, because I had to shave my beard off to become more professional. And it's just no fun being professional. I'm a musician. I like to be as fun-loving. But I did get the job, so yeah. I'm not Bob. I am employed and starting a new career actually this week. So thank you guys for coming out. If you're from Anamosa United Methodist, thanks so much for hosting me today. Give your love to Pastor Melody and take good care of her. She's a dear friend of mine, and she is roughing it in Alaska right now. I don't know if she's on a cruise or hiking the outback or shooting bears, or I have no idea what she's doing. I just know she's up in Alaska. And for the rest of you who came from Cedar Rapids, Marion, I'm hungry. Take me out to eat, okay? Thank you guys so much for coming tonight. God bless you.